What is up, and welcome to the OnePride podcast. We talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. And for today's show, we're going to have a fun show. We're going to do just QA the whole time. Why is that? Because I can't sit down, and it makes life easier. So I'm standing up, and I'm actually going to take your questions from my cell phone because while I'm standing up, I can't read the stuff in my computer. So I will read your questions from my cell phone, and actually, the questions come on at the same time, so, I'm getting it in real time. So that's what we're talking about today for today's show, and I appreciate everybody in the building. We got Shift God, Lisa DeLorenzo, Kurt Casper, Bronson Shields, 9 Drinks. What's up, 9 Drinks in the building? Theo Squirrel, Donkey Kong, Hunter Klein. We got, Anthony the Ant-Man in the building. We love the Ant-Man. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, folks. This is the best I have felt. Now, is this the 23rd day? I feel pretty good, folks. I'm not going to lie. I cannot sit down. That hurts. But I can stand, and I can walk, and look at this. Holy smoke. So I am starting to get better. I still cannot sit down. I don't care. This is a huge victory. It's been awful. This is great. My appetite is back. I was in so much I couldn't eat. So my appetite is back. So I'm in a great mood right now. And I've been standing here for, I don't know, let's say about 7 minutes. And I feel perfectly fine. Yesterday it was 7 minutes and 40 seconds. I was starting to feel, so I'm pretty good. But let's get into your Lions stuff. Enough about me. Let's talk about our beloved Detroit Lions. We got a lot, right? We got training camp coming up. We can talk about the offensive line. We talk about whatever. Za'Darius Smith wanting to come back to the Detroit Lions, and I would absolutely love for him to come back to our beloved Detroit Lions. I think it would be wise to add an extra edge. That's me. That's what I think. Maybe you're different. It doesn't matter. We're all got opinions. What up, though? Michael McDermott, V-Rel, Matt Hicks. If you got questions, just throw it in the comments. I'm literally just going to read off my cell phone. So ask any question you want. This is your opportunity. I'm not making a video. I'm taking your questions live, and I'm feeling pretty good. So when I'm feeling pretty good, I want to give back a little bit now. It's been butt cheeks for 3 weeks. It's been cheeks. It's been terrible. So I want to get you guys involved today. How many wins do you think we'll get from my friend, the Oak Squirrel 1? With the retirement of Frank Ragnow, I'm going to bump it down a game. I think 11 wins right now is 11 to 10 wins should be logical. Why I believe this? I believe that the offensive line will get better throughout the year, but you have 3 new players now on the offensive line. 3 new players. It's going to take a little bit for the continuity to occur. It is going to take time. And we're talking about some young players as well. Christian Mahogany and Tate Ratledge. And Miles Frazier, maybe he gets some time in there, but that's a lot of new faces. So that's where I'm going to go with it on that one. Let's see. Thank you about the prayers. I appreciate everybody in the prayers. Seriously, I've needed it. This has been so bad. I have thrown my back out many times before. Not like this. Brad is the best GM in the world. I want to put him right now as number 1. Howie Roseman, I think, is number 1, but he's right up there. That's for sure. Any word on Alex? Not on the contract yet, folks. Don't be worried about Alex Anzalone. He will be playing. They'll figure that one out. I'm not worried. Dunk Kong says 12-5. Who will be the starting defensive line? Aiden Hutchinson. He's going to be right there. Since Ali McNeil is going to be injured, he would be starting, but he's injured, so he's not going to be starting. So what do you want to know? The starting week 1 or starting for the playoffs? Because it's going to be different. So for week 1, it will be Hutchinson, DJ Reader, Tyleek Williams, and Marcus Davenport. When it comes to the end of the season, it's probably going to be Aiden Hutchinson, more of you'll have Lee McNeil in there by that time for sure. You'll probably have more Tyleek Williams than DJ Reader, and who knows with the opposite edge, even if Marcus Davenport's healthy at that time. How soon? 9 Drinks. We don't know. Everybody's waiting. You heard him. He wants to be here. Do you think there's any chance that Brad Holmes gets Big Z? Why wouldn't they, right? They got the money. He clearly wants to be here, right? Za'Darius Smith wants to be here, so that's a nice little thing to have. But I don't know if they will. I hope they do. I have no insight on it. I am feeling a little bit better. Do you extend Hutch this year? Yes. They will extend I predict they will extend Aiden Hutchinson this year. Not only do I think they should, they will. Because if they don't do it now, if they do it at the end of the year, they're going to have to pay him way more money. Because I think if Hutch stays healthy, he could be Defensive Player of the Year. Do it now like they did last year's offseason with Jared Goff, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Everybody knows Aiden Hutchinson's going to work his tail off for his contract. When you give him money, he's not going to take the playoff. That's why you do it now. It's not like, oh, you're concerned, right? Can he do it? It's different between him and Jameson Williams, right? We know what Hutch is going to bring. That's why you do it now. Now, Jameson Williams, I want the Lions to extend him, but they'll probably do it after this season. They want to see the production is not as consistent as Hutch has been. If I miss your question, repost it. They're coming in actually pretty quick. Let's see, Chrome, what's up, buddy? And I'm not missing anybody, okay? I'm not intentionally missing anybody. Brad will get a vet center before he gets Za'Darius Smith. They already got a vet center. They picked one up already in free agency. Do we extend, let's see, to be honest, do you think Davenport going to do something? I do not have hope for it because I just go off what I've previously seen. Now, I've been wrong before. Levi Muzurike, he proved me wrong, and that was the best proving wrong of all time. I want Davenport to prove me wrong. Please. I want this team to win. And for the Lions to win, Davenport's got to be playing for the Lions. He is a good player. So prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. I don't care about being right. I want to win a Super Bowl. People are sleeping on healthy Laporta. Yeah, you don't ever sleep on Laporta, right? It's just they got so much weapons on offense, but yeah, don't sleep on Laporta. James over 1,000 yards receiving. Yes, I have him, did I say 1,300 yards? That's my prediction. He's gained 5 pounds of muscle in bottom half of his body, and remember, he's like me. He's a skinny guy. So that's a lot. He looks bigger, stronger, faster, even than last year. And that's why I do think, and his attitude has changed per reports, and that's why I do think after this season, Jameson Williams actually gets extended. And all these people throughout the years that's been ripping on Jameson Williams, how'd that work out for you? And J-Mo, hey, I've been on your side the whole time, bro. You already know. You be watching it. You be watching it. This team is going to rise quickly. The vets are going to lead. I hope that, look, we do got, you make a good point there, Eric. Because there's a lot of turmoil when you're talking about the offensive, defensive coordinators. There's turmoil in the offensive line. We do have some vets that can probably help speed up the process of losing the coordinators, right? We do have vets. We have actually a ton of vets on this team. So you look on the defensive line, Hutchinson's a vet, DJ Reader's a vet, Lee McNeil's a vet, Davenport's a vet, Alex is a vet. Campbell's a vet, like Barnes, they're vets everywhere in the offense and defensive line. So that having experience is going to help the transition. But make no mistake, there's going to be some rust, guys. There's going to be some rust. And it's okay. That's a part of it. The thing is you want the rust to come off early in the season, and by halfway through the season, now we're rolling, right? That's what we're looking for. When I'm looking at the Lions season, I want to see them progress each game, regardless if they win or lose. This is a progression thing. You want the continuity to occur on both sides of the football until when we're pushing into the colder weather and into the playoffs, that's when our team is on continuity. Because we do, like you stated, we have the vets, and I do think the coordinators that we got they're smart. We got a lot of smart coaches that will get them on quickly. Remember, year one with Dan Campbell, they got rid of Anthony Lynn in the offense halfway through the season of the first year of them making the offense with Morrison and with Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell and Jared Goff. The offense got better with the lack of talent, okay? And that was year one. Now look at this team. It's full of vets like you were stating. These coaches, like Shep's been here for years. He's been in development. So I think you're correct. But there's going to be some rust. But I don't believe the media narrative that it's going to be as rusty as the Eagles were a couple years ago just because of all the coaches surrounding. But I do think there's going to be rust. I do think so. But I think the Lions will be the better team in the second half of the football than they are in the first half. I believe Jalen will be a top 5 wide receiver in the entire league. What do you think? Ooh, V-Rel, that's tough. I'm going to say no because of so many weapons. Sam Laporta, St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameson Williams, David Montgomery. There's so many weapons that it's going to be hard to feed Jameson Williams the amount of numbers to warrant that. When you're going to have like a Jamar Chase who is going to be getting a ton, there's teams on there that they're going to be throwing a lot to their main receiver. Well, Mike, how long do you think it'll take for the O-line to gel? Thomas, I'm hoping by midway through the season. That's if there's no injuries, and these guys are all on the same. I'm hoping midway through the season. You do got Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker. That's great. But it does stink that you lost. I think it would have been way easier of a transition if he had Frank Ragnow in the center because it'd be vet. But what they could do is Graham Glasgow is a vet. He has played center, and he could move to center for this year until Ratledge is ready and develop the two, the rookies. Well, Mahogany's not a rookie, but he's only played in 3 games. So, and let them get better. That's an option. We're going to see, but I honestly, guys, we have the best offensive line coach in the game. If there is one person I believe that can get this offensive line to gel and play the best of what they got, it's Hank. He is the best offensive line coach in football, and I do put a lot of faith into him. If you could smash that like button, that would be fan-freaking-tastic, folks. Why is that? Well, because it pushes the content out there. We're in the Cheeks era of football where there's nothing going on, and if I could get one more person in here, that would be amazing. What do you think? What do you have in your cut list this year? Broderick is going to be cut. I've been saying this for, 6 months now? I was already told 6 months ago he was going to be not making the team. All right, that was a very reliable source. All right, and that's someone that I would trust. That's why I said so. I don't think he's at all making the team. Who else could be cut? That's a veteran? I don't know, man. Honestly, Roy Lopez, we signed him in free agency, but, what if he could get cut, right? I don't think that will be the case, but, something like that. The Lions, maybe one of our draft picks doesn't even make the team, right? This it's the continuity of this thing. Let's see. I would have said Graham Glasgow's Frank Ragnow was here, but that's not the case. Graham's going to be here this year now. Where do you have Von Miller signing? I have no idea. I have no idea where Von Miller is signing. Wait till we get close to week 1. If there's a major injury to a pass rusher on a team that is in a contention, that's probably where he signs. Let's see. Would Dan Campbell have to win a Super Bowl to be the number 1 coach in Lions history? No, he does not have to win. To me, he's already the number 1 coach in Lions history. Do you agree with me? I believe that Dan Campbell is the best coach in the history of the Detroit Lions. That's my opinion. I think he's the best one. He doesn't need to win a Super Bowl. He's proved it to me. He has already proved it to me. I've been watching this team for a long time. I believe he's the best coach we've ever had. Who is your breakout player for defense this year? Ooh, good. Derek Barnes. I'm going to say Derek Barnes. Folks, stop sleeping on Derek Barnes. He progressed a lot 2 years ago, and it was unfortunate he got injured. I love Derek Barnes. Watch him take a big step this year. Let's see, how many 2023 draft picks do you think Brad will keep this season, especially Hutch and JMO needing to get signed? I think there's a potential for one not to make it. Wide receiver, right? That'd be it. I do think Hassanin is going to make the team. They're relying on him, and I think everybody else is relied upon. So I think wide receiver potentially, because we don't even know if they're going to go 5 or 6. Any thoughts on getting TJ Watt? It's not going to happen. Here's why it's not going to happen. Brad Holmes has said that they are not going to put that money on the defensive line for 2 players. They're not going to do that. As much as I would love TJ Watt and Aiden Hutchinson, yeah, I would do it. I don't care, right? Like, because I want to win a Super Bowl. But Brad Holmes is thinking about the future of this football team, and they can't pay the contract. If you go back and watch big players from last season, will you notice that Glasgow has had a lot of their success? I was comfortable with him being center to begin the season. Center I was comfortable with actually Graham Glasgow and Michael McDermott, and you were correct. Right guard is where I was uncomfortable with him. He was a failure there. Center, he actually played decent. Sorry, folks. Colby Sorsdale, I have him being cut, yes. Lisa DeLorenzo, I have him being cut even though Frank Ragnow is gone. He's another guy that was on the outs. And when you drafted 2 offensive linemen, and remember, they didn't just draft 2 offensive linemen. They knew that at some point Frank Ragnow was going to retire. Maybe they thought next year, but that was the reason for it. How good do you actually think that Isaac Tesla can be? I know he can fly. The future, I think he'd be really good. This year, he's going to be like the number 4 receiver. So I think he can be really good. I think he can be a number 2. I think that's where he could be, as a number 2 right there. Eventually. That's his ceiling. I don't think he could be a number 1. I think he could be a very good number 2 if that's what they want. But he could be an amazing number 3, right? Say you have Tim Patrick now. Next year, after this year, Tim Patrick leaves. Tesla comes in at number 3. You got Jamo, St. Brown, and Tesla. Yeah. I'm L.A. Knight. Yeah. That would be amazing young wide receiver core. Holy smokes, and that would be dope. What's up, James? Janella in the building. James, Janella, and Elisa DeLorenzo. Let's see. Are you worried about Hutchinson's contract as far as timing? Nope. I do believe it get done. I wasn't worried about the big 3 last year. I told you it'll get done. I'm not worried about Aiden Hutchinson. It will get done. Folks, don't worry about Aiden Hutchinson. It will get done. And whatever he gets paid, it's going to be a lot of money, and it's going to be deserved. We got the money to pay Aiden Hutchinson. This is why we have all this cap space, folks. And we picked up more cap space, the retirement of Frank Ragnow. Money is not an issue for this team. You know what this means with Ragnow retiring? It means Brian Branch, good to go, right? You got Aiden Hutchinson, good to go. If they want to get Jameson Williams, he could be good to go. Sam Laporta, good to go. This is the type of stuff that his retirement did help out a little bit. What playbook moves set are looking to see this season? Are you talking about what type of plays they're going to be putting on? I don't know what they're doing right now. I don't know exactly. From what they were saying, Goff and Campbell, John, they're saying that it's going to be the same with a little bit of tweak. So I'm going to go with that. My expectations, it's going to be play action pass, deep pass, and a lot of runs. So instead of 3rd and 1 with a fake, it's going to be a 3rd and 1 to David Montgomery. That's kind of what I think the change will be, but it's still going to be the play action offense. Play action, read, same thing, but it's just going to be a little bit different play calling. That is my thought process. So this means no Hendrickson? No Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson's not going to be coming to the Detroit Lions, folks. Yeah, Brad Holmes has this. Every time the rumor comes up, I have to make a video because that's my job, and I say it every time. He's not going to be a Detroit Lion. He's not going to be a Detroit Lion. I love it. We all would love it, but it's just not going to happen. Bill, my back is doing really good right now. I've been standing up the whole time. This is the best I've felt now in 23 days. I still cannot sit in a chair, and that's perfectly fine, but I'm walking great. The the ball has reduced, and now I don't have severe nerve pain 24/7. It is only when I sit down now is severe nerve pain. I still got a pinch, but my muscle is retracting, so thank you so much. Holmes and Campbell did not trade their guys unless there's an issue. Yeah, he's not going to. We drafted these guys to be Detroit Lions, and they keep them. I know some people disagree with keeping some of the same players you draft and stuff. I actually don't. I love the idea of keeping the same players. I love I think it's good. I knew Derek Barnes would take that next step, and he did. I think he's going to take that next step. You're seeing these players consistently progress with this coaching staff. When we got Alex Anzalone, I thought this guy was just going to be, it's one of those guys. He's going to come in here. He's going to be gone in a year, right? He's progressed insanely. Jack Campbell's progressed. Hutchinson's progressed. Levi Muzurike's progressed. Pascal, now his is more injury, right? He seems to, but I've seen him make a little bit of progression, not a much. I'm starting to think that they won't re-sign him at some point. But you see a lot of progression. Kirby Joseph. This is players progressing with this coaching staff. Why would you let it go when you know you're getting the best out of the players and you're seeing them develop? You have taken all this time to develop these players to then let another team snatch it up? Nah! We want our players. Nah. We want the players that we developed on this team, and that's the Detroit Lions way. And that's why I don't believe our Super Bowl window is, well, you got exactly 2 years or 1 year for a Super Bowl. I trust that Brad Holmes can find consistent talent in the draft to replace some of the talent. I expect Tate Ratledge, not this year, but be a pretty dang good center by the time he's ready. I expect it. This is what I'm looking at Brad Holmes, and he has done well with the draft. There's going to be misses, but I trust him 100%. That's why I don't believe the window is just 1 year or 2 years. Now, I do think the team's going to vary from a little bit better from 1 year to, I think last year's team is a little bit better right now than this year's team. I think next year's team's probably going to be better than this year's team. Like, there's fluctuation, but doesn't mean that the window's not closed. You get to the playoffs as a wild card, or if you win your division, any team can make the Super Bowl. You go on a run. Any team can. It is the truth. We've seen it, and it's the truth. No one thought Washington would get to the championship game, but they did, right? So the window, not closed. Say cut, does that mean that they're a practice squad? Yeah, practice squad's different. If they wanted to cut, I'm talking about the 53. Say if they wanted to get Colby Sorsdale to go in the practice squad, yeah, they could do that. Or if they cut, somebody and that player is elected to do the practice squad, and because so they can go to the waivers or go to another team. But yeah, they could bring these guys back in the practice squad. We got a super chat from Funny Boy Rody. Ultra Combo! Who is better, A.J. Brown or St. Brown? Well, we look at one is that probably he's starting to be at the end of his career, and that's A.J. Brown, and the other one St. Brown, who is in the prime of his career. I'm going to go with St. Brown just because of that. They're different receivers, though. One's a big-bodied guy, more like DK Metcalf, bigger size, and that goes down range, is more physical. Well, St. Brown's physically he's a tiny guy. St. Brown, he more wrecks the middle, right? And so it's a little bit different receivers, but I'm going to go with the St. Brown because he's got way more career left and he is on the ascend. Well, I think A.J. Brown is probably, he's starting to be at the end of his career. You don't have if that's one. I feel like Brad's going to be stubborn about the edge. He's been stubborn about the edge for 5 years. You're correct, Dr. Detroit, and I need you to talk to him. Tell him, knock it off, man. Do you think that the Lions finish signing their main players and they'll give Smith a contract? I don't think they're going to still sign or extend their own players. That's what they're going to do now. They're going to extend Aiden Hutchinson at some point here. Main guys, yeah, 100%. They could be signing some practice squad or camp body fillers, but those are just that. 100%. Let's see. They could give Smith a contract. This is what we're on waiting, right? This is what we want. We want Za'Darius Smith back. We've seen him at the BET Awards saying he's close. He wants to do it. We don't know yet. Like, what's so good, what's so bad about Brad Holmes and this regime, nothing comes out of the office. It's great for being strategic in 4D chess and not letting anybody know anything, and it sucks for a content creator because there's no legit rumors. It's so hard to get anything out of these guys. When you do get something out of there, it's pretty shocking that you can. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Hey, what's up, Taylor Alexis Janela? He's afraid of 7. The first down to St. Brown. First down, St. Brown. Absolutely. First down, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And hopefully, first down, St. Brown, Amon-Ra first down is going to be doing a lot of that for us this year. He could be just waiting to see what the market needs, going to the playoffs before he makes it. Just an opinion, that's exactly what he's doing. Not only that is he doing that, but Za'Darius Smith is being patient as well. There's no probably real need to exactly sign right now. Training camp's not happening for about a month. So, I think maybe Smith, the way he's been acting, staying in Detroit, talking about he wants to come back, that it's close. Maybe there's already kind of like a under table hand deal, and they're just kind of waiting on it or something. Don't really know, but we'll see. But I expect Smith. I want him here. I think he'll come back. That's what I want. Hi, Taylor. Feels like Brad Holmes going to be stubborn, actually, absolutely, always stubborn. Hey, make sure you hit that like button. We're at 47 likes. Smash that like button. If you got questions, I may have answers. Just throw it in the comment section. I'll do my best here while I'm on this live stream. My back is still holding up right now, so that's a shock. This is the longest it's held up. That's a good. We have a Hutch. He's healed now. Will Fine at edge. But what about, I'm fine with Aiden Hutchinson, but what about opposite of him? I'm not fine. I'm worried about Marcus Davenport and his ability to stay healthy. I like his ability. I love what he brings. Big, huge guy, 285, monster. Set the edge. You're not going to let the runner get to the outside. I love that. I just want him to be on the field. That's it. If he can do it, that would be glorious. But all evidence has shown that it has not occurred. I love under the deal hand deals. Oh my God, I love the under the table hand deals. That sounds interesting right there. She says, hey, Lisa, we have a Hutch. And Hutch, too, I'm not worried about him. In regards to his broken leg, a lot of people a little bit worried or that there'd be rust. I actually don't think there's going to be any rust at all. I think Hutch will be perfectly fine. And that's what we're hearing from, we had in the OTAs as he looked amazing. I never worried about that. A broken bone, especially as clean as a break that he had. It's not like we've all broken bones, well, most of us in here. And I don't even think about, I literally broke my foot, 3 toes just a couple months ago, and I don't even think about it, or if you break your arm or whatever. I honestly don't even think about it. But it's more of the ligament tears. That's different. I tore my meniscus. I think about that. I do think about it. My back, I think about it all the time. My neck, I think about it all the time. My shoulder, all surgeries that was not bone related, I do think about. Bones, I don't. It's oh yeah, it happened before. Because they heal actually stronger. A bone actually heals stronger, and it's just this is what it is, So I think he'll be perfectly fine. Folks, I've been on for a little bit now. I know my back is starting to get a little bit sore right now. Starting to feel the tense, and I don't want to overdo it because I am progressing. So I'm going to go ahead and get off this stream, but I appreciate everybody hanging out for as long as I could stand and take some of your questions. It's getting better every day. Tomorrow will be better than today. And I thank you for all the prayers, and we will get back to the content. We will get back to the Lions information that you desire and the good graphics and me sitting down and actually explaining something thorough. instead of having to stand and do it a little bit awkward. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. With that said, folks, adios.